Alright guys, TacticalRab back again today. I hope you're all doing well and enjoying your day so far, and welcome to the first emergency video of the Rostermania period, and this is a big one. OpTic Texas have decided to blow it up. DASHY and ILLEY, both free agents, HyDra potentially coming in to replace one of them. Who's going to be the main AR? This is one of the biggest news of the offseason, no doubt about it. Where are they going to go? This is going to cause a massive cascade in the Rostermania period, and it's mind-blowing that they decided to do this, given the circumstances that we've seen the last couple of weeks. But very much into your thoughts in the comment section below. Hit the like button if you enjoy. Subscribe if you are new as always. I would greatly appreciate it. If you don't hit the red button on this, don't know what you guys are playing at. So let's just dive straight into it, obviously. I tweeted this out a couple of hours ago. Even looked earlier today right about OpTic Cammy, because I've been hearing for quite a while now that ILLEY returning to this team was looking less and less likely. I thought he was potentially going to be on the bench or something because the thumb injury may not have been fully recovered. I guess we'll see this in the coming days. I tweeted this out a couple of hours ago just as kind of a joke, but I'd also heard that DASHY was not a guarantee to return here, and I was like kind of mind blown about that, and I thought, yeah, probably that's just fake news, and it's going to be ILLEY that gets traded out and DASHY stays. But yes, DASHY is also going to be gone, which is just crazy stuff, and I was kind of thinking like, damn, I didn't think that was actually going to happen, but it turns out it's actually happened, and well, here we go. This isn't necessarily the team, obviously, it's just me joking around, but look, we'll see about that. Before this even happens, the rumours emerged that HyDra could be an option here, so the rumours started to become a thing, and this was kind of confirmed by many players on stream and Zoom especially, and the guys he was speaking with, that yes, indeed, ILLEY is not going to be there anymore. Like, it seemed like maybe, okay, his thumb injury isn't fully healed, he's going to be on the bench or something, or maybe helping out with the coaching analyst work on the team for one season, and then step back in. But I guess they thought if they want to do that with ILLEY, they really want to give him the possibility to explore other options, and, you know, like, he could still go to another team, for example. Now, like, the rumor had it that HyDra, after all the talk about him the last few days, is going to be a potential replacement, and the initial implication was, okay, well, maybe HyDra joins in here as the second SMG to Shotzzy, and then Scump becomes the flex. I still see that as the most likely option, but as I was thinking that in my head, I was like, okay, you've got DASHY the main, Scump as the flex, which I do really like from Scump, right? Back in this game in Vanguard and in previous games, whenever he's picked up an AR, he's been disgusting with it, right? So I think Scump on the flex is honestly, could prolong his career a bit longer, and I think he could do a great job in that role. And then HyDra and Shotzzy, yes, there's going to be questions about work ethic and stuff like this, there has been, but on paper, that's a nasty SMG duo that should fare quite well, and also paves the way if Scump does retire down the line for HyDra and Shotzzy to be the two big personalities and big powerhouse SMG players that can not take his place, but you know what I mean, be the next guard of OpTic in that sense. So for a few reasons I thought it made sense. The reason why I wasn't so convinced though is that, well, if HyDra does join as the SMG, let's just say, in addition, and Scump goes to the flex, where does the leadership go? You lose ILLEY, DASHY doesn't really do the leadership stuff, Scump has never really been that guy, neither of course is Shotzzy, so where's the IGL? And with DASHY, Scump, HyDra and Shotzzy, you don't really have that leadership, right? Then I was thinking, well, you know, what happens in the AR position? And surely enough, just a couple of minutes later, it officially confirmed, first of all by DASHY and then shortly afterwards by ILLEY himself, that yes, DASHY is a restricted free agent looking for new opportunities. This is mind-blowing stuff. DASHY's been their MVP player this season, but you know, when I tweeted that thing about, you know, having Crim for DASHY, everyone was roasting me saying they're not going to drop the MVP, but I was thinking, you know, I'm going to say wait and see here, lads, because I might have heard this is actually a possibility, and it turns out that's the case. I don't know what the reason is for this. We might see over the coming days whether it was, you know, chemistry issues, or whether DASHY's kind of old habits, right, from previous seasons started to recur as the season progressed, right, people started to get frustrated with it. I guess we might find out in due course, but DASHY's a free agent, as is ILLEY, right? So I'm guessing they thought on the ILLEY front, they're like, look, maybe his thumb injury isn't fully healed, but I guess he's confident that it will be, and as he says here, free agent for the upcoming season, bang my line if you want to take over, and even kind of confirming here in his bio, OpTic is now no longer anywhere to be seen, taken out of his name, taken out of his bio, like, I mean, yes, certainly seems like he's obviously not going to be part of this team anymore, right? And the reasoning, I suppose, will come clear over the coming days, but for now, we've got to talk about what this actually means for the team. So OpTic come out and confirm it, right? They say, thank you, ILLEY, for all your work, and you're going to go now, effectively. They're both restricted free agents, right? No, actually, okay, ILLEY is not a restricted free agent, he's unrestricted free agent because his contract was at an end anyway, but DASHY is a restricted free agent, and he will require a buyout, but I'm sure he's going to get one from somewhere, knowing DASHY's caliber. So this is mind-blowing. This is a huge shake-up in Rostermania, obviously. The questions, firstly, are around OpTic. What do they do now? This probably confirms, to a certain extent, they're looking at HyDra. Now, look, what does that mean for HyDra? HyDra could deny the offer, potentially. He is a free agent. He could take the 500k a year bag from New York. Maybe OpTic would pay him less, but it's OpTic, so HyDra probably takes an offer. Then that leaves OpTic needing, with, I guess, Scump as the flex in that situation, unless Scump retires, but I doubt that's the case, because, look, at the end of the day, Scump is one of the key guys guys that calls the shots in this team. If Scump said to Hex, look, I'm not really feeling this whole Dashy AR thing, I want a different AR, like Hex is going to be like, well, either I keep Dashy and Scump like retires or something, or we get rid of Dashy and bring a new AR in. So Scump obviously had some role to play in this change, that's just how it is, and therefore, like, I highly doubt as a result, Scump's going to retire because he wants to maybe try a new team dynamic that might extend his career or allow him to do better than they've done the last couple of seasons, let's just say. But I mean, yeah, getting rid of Dashy is crazy because the ILLEY thing I kind of saw coming, but like actually committing to this move and dropping Dashy shows that you know, maybe the stats aren't everything, right? And as I say, we'll probably see more on this in the coming days. But that leaves them needing an AR, right? If HyDra does come through, then they need an AR. Who's that AR, right? There's options. I mean, like Crimsix, I don't want to say it. Maybe we'll talk about it tomorrow. And look, Crim and HyDra are not exactly gonna come best buddies again. So there's options out there, right? There's, you know, maybe Attach or someone like that could be the main. You know, I don't know. It's so up in the air that I'm not even going to comment on potential rumors as to what their full roster might be. But there are potential out there. Like there's Skies as well, of course, who was meant to go to New York with HyDra. That might not be the case any longer. But yeah, wow, crazy scenes. Of course, the reaction to this immense, right? Free agents everywhere, says Octane. Because I mean, yeah, I kind of thought this roster mania would be pretty good, but I did not think it would be this crazy. And OpTic blowing it up as they have done is an immense surprise. So what does this mean for those players, right? Because okay, let's say HyDra does indeed go to this team. Scump becomes the flex. They probably need an IGL AR type player. Maybe Attach can be that guy. Maybe there's other options out there. I'm sure you guys will comment on that. Of course, we've got the Rambo Ray thing, right? Yes, Rambo is French-Canadian, not quite a French national, but still, he might well help integrate HyDra into the culture. The questions will still be there, especially because I'm sure many of you guys a couple of days ago were saying, well, look, HyDra, like, you know, his attitude, his character didn't seem to be quite aligned with a winning Call of Duty player, at least a consistently winning Call of Duty player. But now it's like, well, you know, hang on a second here, he might be joining this team in place of ILLEY, or well, not really in place of ILLEY because Scump is gonna go into that role probably, but honestly, kind of who knows at this point. It's absolute chaos and anything seemingly can happen in this roster mania period. But yes, maybe Rambo gets him in gear to a certain degree. That, you know, French first language type connection there might help them get that in action a little bit more. But there's still more questions to be answered, not just on this team, but also on the future, right? So, I mean, look, if ILLEY's a free agent, where does he go? What team does he potentially join? Offers will be out there for ILLEY if he's ready to go, right? Because that's the weird question here, because we thought that he was going to go or be on the bench because maybe his thumb wasn't fully healed. Now it's like, well, he's saying he's a free agent and he can go elsewhere. Like he says in this tweet right here, like, bang my line if you guys want to take over. So saying that, like, look, I'm ready to go. I'm ready to join another team to get back in action. Maybe it's not the thumb thing. Maybe it's just they don't want to continue with him, right? Despite all the praise that they've given to him. So, I mean, look, Dashy and ILLEY, a team of two somewhere else. Like, I mean, that's, I suppose, a possibility, right? Or does Dashy go and team with someone else, right? Like, I mean, the offers should be pretty big, especially because ILLEY, of course, is an unrestricted free agent. He can go technically anywhere. So, you know, he doesn't have to have a buyout, whereas Dashy might have a pretty immense buyout. They, of course, extended his deal. And that was what I was wondering, because I heard that maybe Dashy could be out of this team, but then they extended his contract. And I was like, are they going to do a Cammy here, or are they just going to keep him and it's all fake news? But yeah, it turns out indeed Dashy is going to be gone, and ILLEY following suit very shortly after as well. So yes, what does this mean? I'm sure you guys will have all your thoughts in the comment section below on what this means for the OpTic team. Also, is this a good idea for the OpTic team? Who called these shots? Like, why has this been done? I mean, wow, like the storylines on this are going to continue for quite some time. And even the video I did earlier today on OpTic Cammy or Attach, even with HyDra joining, now that seems a possibility as well. So, I mean, yeah, wow, the revenge tour might be in effect. And of course, the other part of this story is that if ILLEY and Dashy are indeed dropped, then, you know, will the OpTic curse continue again, right? Is it actually going to be ILLEY and Dashy next season? One of them or both of them, if they join the same team, going to win the World Championship next year? Because, I mean, look, ILLEY did it back in Modern Warfare 1, but he's not going to do it under the OpTic brand. So this is absolutely immense. Definitely intrigued to your thoughts in the comment section below. The final question I wanted to raise here is what happens to the New York subliners now? Because if HyDra does indeed choose, as it looks like almost certain at this point that he will, to go to OpTic, right, and be their SMG player alongside Shotzzy and Scump going to the flex, of course, they still need an AR, then New York have effectively been screwed over because they put all their eggs in one basket here to get HyDra, right? They went all in on paying HyDra the bag to get him and building a good team around him with Skies, you know, maybe another SMG like Afro could have been there or something, with, you know, maybe even Kismet stays or whatever. But now they have, well, Kismet, his option is extended, Paul X's option is extended. Like, what other options in New York have, right? They've got money to spend. Could they go the other way? Could they potentially get Crim back onto the team, right? I mean, maybe that's an option now. Of course, you've got to consider ILLEY and Dashy, like the massive free agents on the market. Like, Cammy isn't even the biggest free agent anymore. You've got the number 2 MVP candidate in Dashy is out there on the market. But then I'm sure, given all the circumstances that we've seen over these last several days, about, okay, well, you know, OpTic really like this team this year, and the chemistry seemed great, at least at the start of the season, and then things went downhill, of course, and even Rambo was indicating behind the scenes that things weren't all sunshine and rainbows, and but still, the implication was they're probably going to stick it out, right, and go again, and try and make things happen for next season. Of course, that's not the case, and other teams, before they pay a big buyout for Dashy and give him a big salary, might ask, okay, why is that the case, right? How is our team dynamic going to be different to that one? So I think that's probably going to be where we have to finish it off for today. Is Karma coming back or something crazy like that? I honestly wouldn't even rule anything out at this point, but I mean, yeah, wow, what a day on the Call of Duty landscape. I kind of figured this one was coming, but it's happened sooner than I expected it to, and the implications are absolutely mega, not just for OpTic, for New York, and the entire league as a result. Very much intrigued to your thoughts in the comment section below. Hit the like button if you enjoyed. Subscribe if you're new as always. You better do that one. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you next time.